Okay, so you guys are going to start out with a black and white photo of yourselves. You can use different colored markers to help you sort of outline where your highlights and shadows and midtones are. So you might want to decide that certain shapes are going to be like your light areas. Okay, and this can be done pretty loosely. And then maybe there's, you know, like some shadow areas. This isn't that great of a photo to use because I don't have a lot of contrast in here, but just to give you guys an idea of sort of the important shapes that you'll use. So that might be my shadow, maybe some midtones here. Love that truck every day. That's just great. Okay, so anyway, you can break it up into different blocks of highlights, shadows, and midtones. And then when you're happy with that, you're going to get your graphite transfer sheets that we made in September, which are great to use. And slide that underneath, of course, dark side down. And then you'll use a pen or other sharp writing utensil and trace your image. So I'm going to start and just sort of go through all the important things. And I'm going to do this kind of loosely because I'm not too worried about details, because we are using oil pastels, which by nature are kind of messy, you know, and thick and all that good stuff. So there's scarf, okay, hairline, ear. So I'm going to trace, you know, the outline of my face here, hair, and then I'm going to trace the highlights that I drew and the shadows, which will help me when I decide what colors I'm going to use. And this will also help your portrait look more like you when you have the right shaped shadows, especially with your nose. Okay. Eyebrows, eyeballs, shadows in the eye socket. Okay, and that's pretty good for now. If you have anything in the background that you want to include, you can, you know, lightly sketch that in. Just do like a little blob for the tree. Okay, and I'll just do this street a little bit, and the rest of the hair, shadow in there. Okay, so now I have this loose sort of pencil-y outline. And now is the time to have fun with color. So we looked at examples by Matisse of different portraits, right? So we have Lady with the Green Stripe, and then this fabulous portrait of this woman with the hat. And we see the crazy colors that are used, really bright colors. We see contrast between like reds and greens, which adds a lot of visual interest. Okay, and that's what the Fauvism are all about. So you guys will be using the oil pastels to do this. Here's the bucket of oil pastels. So when you start to apply the oil pastel, you can start with light strokes. I'm going to start with, I'll just do red for now. So maybe I'll do some red in my hair. Okay, and you can apply this lightly, or you can go really hard and really heavy and get a really thick layer of that oil pastel down. And we have practiced a little bit with the oil pastels. So blending your colors will be something that you practice with a little bit more in this assignment. Okay, and at this stage I don't want you guys to use any black, because I want your colors to stay really nice and vibrant. Okay, so by glopping it on, you can kind of get really smooth areas, and it's up to you how smooth or not smooth you want, oops, this to be. And oil pastels break, and that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to blend that out. So now for my face, maybe I'll get some lime green in there to contrast against those reds and oranges. Maybe I'll do some yellow. So this was one of my light areas, right? And actually what you guys should do is have your photograph next to you for reference, so that you can see where the shadows are and what shapes that they're in. So I'll add some highlight there. And yes, the oil pastels tend to be dirty, so if you have a piece of paper towel to wipe them off on, so that you're not getting like muddy color. So this is white, but it looks green because it's so dirty. But you can blend that in to lighten up certain areas if you want. And the idea is that this is going to look a little bit crazy. That's the point, okay? So I'll do some shadow in here. And for the face, I'm going to start applying my colors sort of lightly so that I can blend and build up what I want to. Okay, so here. And yes, they're crazy colors. And maybe for the face you want to incorporate something a little bit more natural, so I'll add like this beigey skin tone or like this light pinky color in certain areas. But my shadows are going to be those crazy colors. Okay. And then when you guys get to a point where you're happy with what you've got, maybe you want to add some of that baby oil to help blend. I don't really like using the baby oil personally, but it's up to you if you guys want to use that. Okay, there's the lips. And I'll add some more in here. Blend this down. Okay, and I'm looking at sort of where the shadows are. And you guys will have more contrasty photographs to work from for this project. We'll set up a studio light so you have some really obvious shadows and all that. Okay, some of that crazy green color in there. Okay, this over the scarf. And it really, I just want you guys to have fun with the oil pastels and give yourself a nice, expressive self-portrait. You know, pick colors that you like, pick colors that you think look nice together or contrast really well, okay? But keep it bright and keep it fun. And if you guys mix complementary colors, which some of you are learning about as we're working on our acrylic paintings, right? You get a neutral. It might start to look muddy if you mix complementary colors. So just to give you guys an example, if I have red up here and I mix in my green, I'm going to get like a brownish color. Okay, and that might be a look you want, you know, it's up to you. But I would try to keep sort of analogous colors next to each other, and then different areas have those contrasting colors show through. But like if you wanted to add some shadow type things in certain areas, you can certainly do something that is more complementary as far as your color choice so that you get that dark neutral color. Okay? So you would continue building up layers and colors until you're happy and end up with something that looks something like these. Okay? So again, it's just layering and blending your oil pastels and having a fun time with color. Okay? Sound good?
All right.
All right.